Hi everyone. In this video I wanted to show you how to use Equation Editor in Word document. So this is my example lab report, and let's say I want to type out a chemical equation. So what I'm going to do is go to Insert, and then off to the right is this equation option. So I'm going to Insert Equation. And now all of these different options have popped up for me. So in the middle we have all sorts of different symbols we can use. There's an infinity symbol, a multiplication symbol, division, proportional to. If you click to the right, there are Greek symbols that you can use. There are a lot of different options. And then off to the right here we have some equation options, so you can type in a fraction. And these boxes are where you'll type your numbers or letters, whatever the case may be. There's also some common fractions listed down below that you can use as well. Next to that we have superscripts and subscripts. You can also use these options, for instance, isotopes. I use this for isotopes because you have a top number and a bottom number next to your chemical symbol. There's also these radical options, and then some common ones down below. You can also include integrals or summation symbols. There are a lot of different options here. So let's practice. I'll show you how to write a chemical equation. So let's say we want to show the combustion of methane. So methane is CH4, and 4 is a subscript. So I'll go to the script options, click on subscript, and then type CH, and then in the subscript box, I will type a 4. Now, if I tried to keep typing, you'll notice the subscript is highlighted, so anything I type next will go in that subscript box. So what I do is I hit the right arrow key on my keyboard, and that takes me out of the subscript. And now I can type the next part, which is a plus sign. And in a combustion reaction, CH4 will react with oxygen. And oxygen is O2, so I'm going to go back to my subscript. All right, and type O, and then 2. And then right arrow to get out of the subscript. Okay, so now I need an arrow that points to the products. And looking up at my symbol options, I do see a right-hand arrow here, so I'll click on that. And there's also an equilibrium arrow, or a double-headed arrow if you need it. All right, so next, our products are CO2 and H2O. So I'm going to go to my subscript again and type in CO2 plus subscript option H, and then in the subscript box I'll put 2, and then remember to click out of the subscript using your right hand arrow key, or else your H2O will look like that, and which looks a little funny. So I'm going to hit my right hand arrow to get out of the subscript, and then I'll type an O. Okay, and then we do need to balance this, so there's 4 hydrogens on the left, only 2 on the right. So I'm going to click in front of the H and add a 2 there. I also have 4 oxygen atoms on the right, but only 2 on the left. So I'm going to put a 2 in front of oxygen as well. Okay, now when you're done, you can click anywhere outside of the equation editor box, and you'll notice that the blue box went away. So when we're in the equation editor, this blue box shows up. When you click out of it, it goes away, and your equation options go away. All right, so this just makes everything look a little more professional, a little more put together and cohesive. So now let's look at a math equation. let's say we want to calculate the theoretical yield of H2O. So let's say we start with 0.50 grams of methane, and the actual yield is 0.23 grams of water. What is the theoretical yield? Okay, so now let's say I tell you show your calculations. So now I can insert another equation, and I can say, okay, I know I'm starting with 0.50 space grams of methane, so I'm going to use my subscript option again to type CH4. And then I know in this first step to get my theoretical yield, I'm going to multiply or divide, I guess, by the molar mass. But we'll show it as a multiplication because we'll multiply by the reciprocal. So I'm going to go up above and click the multiplication sign. And that just looks a little bit better than typing an X because the X is italicized. So the multiplication symbol is just very clear that we're multiplying. All right, so now I need the molar mass. So I'm going to click my fraction option. And then in the top box, I'll put 1 mole. And then I like to put my chemical symbols or the chemical, I like to put CH4 next to my amount so I can keep track of what I'm canceling. So in the bottom box, I'm going to put the mass of CH4, so that's 12 plus 4, so that is 16 grams. And you can also copy and paste because sometimes our chemical formulas are quite long. So I'm going to highlight CH4 and just press Command C on my Mac. You might have a PC, so whatever you need to do on your PC. And then paste it down below. And that can make it easier, especially if you have a very complex chemical formula, like sugar, which is C12 H22O11. So once you write that once, you really don't want to write it again. So you can copy and paste. Okay, I'm going to hit my right arrow again to get out of that bottom box or the denominator. And then in the next step, I'm going to multiply by the molar ratios of CH4 and H2O. So it looks like there's a 1:2 ratio here, so I'm going to put 2 moles of H2O in the numerator and then 1 mole of CH4 in the denominator. But first I'm going to click on the fraction option. In the numerator, I'll write 2 moles space, and you can even copy and paste from a previous equation. So I'm going to go up to my previous equation, and I'm going to try to highlight H2O. It looks like the 2 is going to come with it, but I'll just copy, paste, and I'll just delete the 2. And then down below that, in the denominator, I will put 1 mole, copy, paste, CH4. All right, and then I'll click my right arrow to get out of that denominator. And in the last step, we're going to multiply by the molar mass of water, which, let's see, we have 2 hydrogens and an oxygen, so that is 2 plus 16, so that's approximately 18 grams. You can be more exact when you're actually doing your calculations. And I'm just going to copy and paste my H2O molecule, save some time. Oh, I'll put a space in there. And then in the denominator, we'll put 1 mole of H2O. And then you can put an equal sign. So you can either just type the equal sign, or you can click the equal sign in the symbol box up above. Either one is fine. And then you'll write your answer next to that. So this looks so much cleaner and nicer, which is why I'm encouraging you to use the equation editor to type all of your calculations for your lab report. All right, so I hope this video helps you with figuring out the equation editor. If you have any questions about it, just let me know, and I can try to help over email or messenger, or we can set up an office hour over Zoom. That works too.